Well, welcome back, everyone. An exciting day in markets again. We are in a spot where we are right on edge. Now, building on yesterday's video, where you heard me come out and give you some insight on a multi-time frame basis for the SPY for the market, I'm going to review quickly and then present to you what I think we're dealing with right now. Now, we heard from Rob when we got back into the channel that we are likely going to see some chop. So that was spot on. That was a couple of Mondays ago. Now we know that the chop continued into the end of last week. We still got a bar yesterday that was positive and actually ended up giving us a move above the top of the channel. However, as you heard in yesterday's video and what I said to members of the active trader room into the close, not ready to call this a turn in the market yet because I don't have enough alignment on the signal structure underneath the daily chart, and a few other things attached to the market, like the dollar hadn't given up yet, meaning the dollar was rising, and it's something that can put downward pressure on equities. When I look at where we were left today, with the dollar being down over 1/3% or so and coming right back up to green, and technically the market coming down on that daily chart and coming below the bottom of the channel and closing below, well, you've heard Rob say this before, 2 days below the bottom of the channel on close, back test of the channel, and then down we can go. This is 1 day. And the market's been selling for quite some time. And this has been selling, as we all know, in a marketplace that has had a very considerable uptrend. So as of right now, where we ended the day and where we're sitting right now as I record this video, the daily chart has got an incremental negative signal because of the close below the bottom of the channel. And if you look at the momentum tool in the subchart, that red line, that's negative momentum that we're on, closed below the bottom, the center of the channel. So you got an incremental negative. Now, the amazing part of this toolkit that Rob built is it's got a targeting mechanism built in. So that cyan dot above the candle is a sell signal. Obviously, it's worked, but here's a target 1. There's a midline target, and there's a target 2 down at 430. Now, what would be fair game because of what we are seeing on this chart on its own, and a close below the channel, is a test of something close to 440 and change on the spot. Based on where we closed officially, 442 and 89 pennies, well, guess what? The idea would be almost $3 down, $2.75-ish pennies down. What would be the expectation? A bounce up. Now, what I want to do is I want to expound on this by looking at time frames underneath the day that can throw their signals out for a shorter period and, of course, give us more insight to now. That would be the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart. Now, the 4-hour chart is sitting with a confirmed TRP sell signal again today on the first 4-hour bar from 9:30 a.m. So that's the second bar to last. And it's got a target 1 sitting down here at 438 and 83 pennies. Now, as the signal broke in the subchart, the higher probability signals for shorts or longs happen near the center of the channel. At the center or slightly below for a sell, at the center or slightly above for the buy. So the sell signal came in at a lower point. That doesn't mean it's invalid. It means that it may be short-lived. So if I move over to the 1-hour chart and I look at the signal we got on the first 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time 1-hour bar, signal's confirmed at the end of the bar, the signal came with the negative momentum dot at to slightly below the center of the channel. That was a higher probability signal for the day, and obviously we ended up coming down. Have we hit the target 1? Not yet. And it's very symmetrical with the daily chart's target 1. So the view that I have here is on a multiple time frame basis. If I want to look out over the next day to 3, there's likely a short-lived lower low, which would mean something in and around 440, a back test of the channel, and then potentially a move that continues down. But that's something that has to be evaluated because we've had a market that has had a very, very strong uptrending base. And we can see now on the weekly chart, as you look at it over here, going back to the beginning of the year, that March low, of course, that entire uptrend structure. Well, we've obviously broken a trend line, and we're below the speed lines, and the fast speed lines below the slow. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that tomorrow. I'm going to invite you to a special session in just a moment. Bottom line is, this chart has not broken all of the supports that were built on the way up. But the next major one down, if we cannot hold 440, is in the 435 area. So want to keep my mind very open, short-term acting, intraday trading only. and want to be open to a test of the 440 and bounce and move back down, or a test of the 440 and then a back test of the channel that turns into something else. And that something else is something that is conjecture at this moment. I hope that this has given you a fairly clear idea of likelier outcomes, and likelier outcomes are not ones that we want to count on 100%. They are likelier, not certain. So we want to trade what we see. And today it was about shorts in the active trader room. Now, if you liked the way that I described to you the simplicity and the power of this toolkit, which is evident in and of itself right there on the 9:30 a.m. bar, no reason to think long when we've got a powerful signal where we've got price under the channel, the TRP sell, and we've got the momentum dot at to slightly under the channel center down here. High probability signal, and that signal did work out today. Is there more to go? Well, you've heard my thoughts already. I'm going to invite you to a session that I'm doing tomorrow. It happens first thing in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we can continue the conversation. The idea behind what I'm going to do at 10 a.m. For about an hour and a half or so in terms of the live session that I do, it's an educational session that will help you use the views on this toolkit, the techniques that Rob's taught me, the techniques that I've also been built on top of it to make higher probability decisions. And I look really very much forward to sharing my knowledge with you, giving it to you in a step-by-step manner. And of course, I'll be there to give you the insight on the day itself. And it's setting up to be an interesting day for tomorrow. Thank you for watching the video. Go to becomebettertrader.com/go. The session is tomorrow, Wednesday, August 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And I'm looking forward to seeing you right at that time to continue this conversation and continue to build on it. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching.